of the two-ish week mark into the season, there is only one team in the league that can claim they are undefeated in regulation. And what team might that be, you ask? Why, the LA Kings, of course. We are 5-0-1, 6 games into our 2017-2018 season. And tonight against the Montreal Canadiens, we were 5-1. And I felt kind of bad for them. I'm not going to lie. They kind of got smashed by the Sharks last night, 5-2. And it's not easy doing a back-to-back through SoCal. Especially when you got your backup in. And oh my gosh, I can't believe how remiss I was. His name is Montoya. How did I not spend the entire night making, my name is Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die jokes all night long? I don't know. Anyway, I have a soft spot for the Canadiens. They're good guys, but they had to go down tonight. And if you watch the first 2 periods, I'm still not entirely sure how that happened. It was very odd. My good friend Jesse Cohen, who does the Kings podcast, said that it was exciting yet boring, and they were disciplined yet sloppy, which I completely agree with. The first period was, it was all over the place like that. For some stretches, you'd get that 70s line out there, and they would be the sharpest thing you've ever seen on the ice. And Montoya, their goalie, would be totally up to it. And then at the other end, you'd have Quick, who was leaving huge fat rebounds open, which, of course, about 10 minutes in, they capitalize on, giving them the lead. And yeah, the Kings were looking good in places, but not everywhere. And yeah, it was a weirdly sloppy yet disciplined kind of game. Because Forbert at one end would be making these incredible plays, like in the neutral zone, in order to get us, or that 70s line, the puck. He was fantastic, but then he was the one that kind of left that rebound. Well, Quick, obviously, was the one that left it open, but he was the one making a sloppy defensive play, and it was just kind of inconsistently all over the place for the first period. Some dude whose name I'm not going to be able to pronounce, so I'm not even going to try, number 27 for the Montreal Canadiens, tried to kill Tyler Toffoli with an illegal check to the head. Not cool. Don't mess with our cupcake. First power play that garnered did nothing. Maybe a minute, 2 minutes after that happened, he tries to take out another one of our players who wasn't cupcake, so I didn't care quite as much, but still. Because Toffoli was slow to get up. He did not return to the bench for the last 5 minutes of the first period. No bueno. Don't mess with our cupcake. But it's going to get worse. So, before it got worse, it got great. Because 14 seconds before the second penalty that this guy had ended, the Kings score their first goal. And it's Mike Camilleri, who I always want to say calamari. It's not. It's top line Trevor. Yes, Trevor Lewis's top line started out tonight. So in honor of my season ticket pal Judson, I'm calling him top line Trevor all night. He had 3 assists tonight, guys. 3. He had the hat trick of assists, but we'll get to hat tricks later because there's more of them. So Camilleri gets the first goal, power play goal. It's this beautiful. Actually, beautiful isn't the right word. It is almost like he's playing cricket, which is probably not a sport most of you are familiar with. But Muzzin gets him the puck, and he kind of low bats it out of the air and into the net. But he was dead center in front of the net, and it kind of whistled over Montoya's shoulder. So who cares how to describe it? It was a good goal. It doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to be in the back of the net. So we end the period with 3.7 seconds of a Trevor Lewis penalty. So we start the second down a man for a minute 56. We also start the period down Jeff Carter. Yes, every single woman in the place burst into tears when Jeff Carter did not come out for the second period. So towards the end of the first period, he gets hit along the boards in the Canadian zone. And he kind of hobbles off the ice, but it looks like it's just a skate issue. Like maybe something popped out, like the blade popped out or something like that. And it's just a technical thing, and he's going to come back and it's going to be fine. And we're all still worried about Toffoli. Well, Toffoli comes out for the second. And Carter does not. And I'm kind of looking around like, if that was a skate issue, then he would be back by now. Sure enough, there's an announcement made. Jeff Carter has a lower body injury and will not be back for the rest of the game, which has since translated into is going to take some time and will not be back for the foreseeable future. Yeah, it's the LA Kings' first casualty of the season, guys. It's not Jonathan Quick 20 minutes into the first period of our first game like it was last season. And we do have other guys stepping up, but I do not like the sound of Jeff Carter being out of our lineup. I also just realized that Kyle Clifford's out of our lineup too, so he's not the first casualty. Sorry, Cliffy, I love you, and I actually do miss you because every time I see Trevor Lewis on a line without you and instead having to skate with Andrea and Shore, it just makes me miss you even more, Cliffy. So I love you. I'm sorry. Anyway, so we got Carter out. We killed the penalty pretty easily, but because of the unexpected departure of our beloved Jeff Carter, it's all over the place in the second period. The Kings are on their heels. We're doing that old Sutter line blender thing because we don't have Carter. And it's not going so well, and honestly, the Kings are kind of lucky to come out of it alive. Jonathan Quick was much snappier than he was in the first period. He didn't give up as many rebounds. And there were just a lot of shots all over the place. They weren't necessarily good shots from either end, but we ended with over 80 shots in the game being taken. So a lot was going down. Just none of it really, good. The second period just wasn't good is really the best way to sum it up. And I don't even want to talk about it anymore because the third period, that exploded. Absolutely exploded. Goals galore. So the second goal is Adrian Kempe. And this is where I want to really highlight Trevor Lewis. This is his second assist of the game. And it's the patience that pays off that gives him the pass to Kempe. Now, obviously, you see that defenseman sliding down and trying to block the pass. What Trevor Lewis has in spades that so many players don't, and it's all those little undefined things that make me love him so much. He waited. He waited for that lane to be open, and Kempe, damn, is a fast little Swedish meatball. I've always been impressed with Kempe's speed, and this time he knew how to finish it off. So he gets this slick pass from Trevor Lewis, and Montoya is focused really on Lewis's side and can't quite get back the angle that he needs to be able to block Kempe's shot. And there we are, 2-1. Things are looking good. The Kings are starting to, I don't know what Steven said to them in between the second and third period, but they're really starting to gel a little more. I don't know, maybe Jeff Carter came out and said, guys, I know I'm not there, but here's how to step it up in my place. Here's what I would do. And they went forth and did. Now, I want to take the time to give credit to the Brown, totally blanking on the name of our captain, Kopitar. Wow. Brown, Kopitar, and Iafolo line, because Iafolo is my new favorite rookie that's coming up. He pays a lot of attention to his line mates and what they're doing, and good things are going to be coming from him. That line had a lot of chemistry. They didn't have goals because Camilleri and Kempe took all of them. But it was a solid line all night, and that was very nice to see, especially when things were, so iffy with the lineup having to kind of evolve. So anyway, that being said, we have one from Camilleri. We have one from Kempe. Both, I believe, have Trevor Lewis assists. And then we get the third, and it's Camilleri's turn again. And it's this very bizarre little... Montoya doesn't quite have the rebound covered, and he's down, and Camilleri is almost behind the net, and there's this weird little... He somehow managed to, pick it up and, over, and this weird angle behind. I still don't quite know exactly what happened, but hey, it's in the back of the net, and we're 3-1, and things are looking good. There's about 10 minutes left in the period. And really, a 3-1 lead is all you need. Kempe's like, no, actually, I think I'd like to get one more. Maybe two. Is that cool, guys? Yes, it is, Adrian Kempe. You take as many goals as you want. Now, Kempe's second goal of the evening is quite a thing of beauty. He gets this breakaway. He manages to find his way around the one Canadiens defenseman who is back there. There are not a lot of players that can get off that shot as quickly as he did at the angle that he did. Very definition of top shelf, but if you actually look at the specific angle he took it at, that's beautiful, guys. As my friend Lori would very proudly say, that's the Swede. We're very, very proud of our little Swedish meatball. So he gets 2. If you're keeping count at home, Camilleri has 2. So we're kind of all sitting there joking, all right, who's going to get the hat trick? I mean, it's Camilleri's turn, but I'm all for Kempe. I was right. I apparently am back to being hockey psychic again. Because sure enough, and they didn't have any footage of this because all they had was footage of people throwing their hats on the grounds. But one more goal with a couple of minutes left. Just the icing on the cake for Adrian Kempe. His first NHL goal was tonight in this game. And now he has his first NHL hat trick in the same game. It just makes me so happy for him. He had a fantastic game. He and Camilleri should be in a line together forever. That seriously needs to happen. They had some beautiful chemistry. We'll just stick Trevor Lewis on the other side because he, like I said, he had the assist hat trick tonight. He did a fantastic job that he does not get recognized for enough. And of course, in a game where you have Camilleri scoring 2 and he got a couple of assists as well on Kempe's goals, and you have Kempe scoring a hat trick, those are the guys you want to focus on. But with Carter out, there was such a team focus tonight. There were so many players that stepped up and did good things. And yeah, maybe the Canadiens aren't the greatest team, but the Kings do have that tendency, or they did, to play down to the teams that aren't quite so good. And so I'm very encouraged to see that tonight they didn't do that. And I just still really like being able to say that we are undefeated in regulation. So we go on a long road trip, well, long-ish, for the rest of the month of October. So I will not be seeing you guys again for a while, which means that we get to keep this channel on quite a happy note. Undefeated LA Kings in regulation. That's always a great thing.